What's going on, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and we'll be hanging out with Bala and Zeke as we recap Week 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers.
Week 3 started off with a bang, as Cat Taking Walls, Jinx, Link, and Lucid FN were all battling it out for the top spot. In the end, Cat Taking Walls was able to secure himself the first qualifying spot with 80 points and punched his ticket to the finals in New York City.
Top Banny was the clear victor coming out of the Asia region. His 102-point score was 20 points over the qualification threshold and 17 points ahead of the second player to qualify. Takamura was able to earn the second qualification spot out of Asia, overcoming a slower start to storm up the leaderboard and into the final.
Over in Europe, the competition was fierce, as players aimed to take one of the 8 spots up for grabs. Ultimately, Luki TJK took the #1 spot with 69 points, followed closely by Cooler Left Eye at 68 and Fledermoys at 67 points. T-Chub finished his matches early, ending with 63 points, and it was enough to secure 4th place. Core Gaming GG was able to win his last match to secure 5th, with Wakey just behind him in 6th. The last 2 spots were taken by Fact LOL Boom from Ireland and Secret Dementos from Latvia, rounding out the top 8 from Europe.
Brazil had a huge opportunity in Week 3 as they had a second qualifying spot. It was an all-out brawl, but after the dust has settled, I'm Lasers was sitting at the top of the leaderboard with 79 points. 2 players tied second with 76 points. Kurtz and 9Z Legardo had their eyes set on the finals, but Kurtz edged out the competition with his back-to-back Victory Royale.
North America kicked off with 6 spots to earn in the East. Tfue was able to secure first place, netting himself 69 points with a last match Victory Royale. TTV Unknown X Army became the first controller player to earn his spot, gathering 67 points to take second place. Qualifying spots 3, 4, and 5 were taken by FaZe Funk, Niddle FN, and CLG Som with 64 points apiece. Week 1 qualifier dubs was in 6th place, which meant Misfits Clicks secured the final solo qualification spot and also became the first player from North America to qualify for both solos and duos in the Fortnite World Cup final.
The final 2 spots of the day were up for the taking in NA West. KNG's Epic Whale posted 81 points to claim first place, 10 points clear of the cutoff for qualification. The final qualifying spot was earned by Stepbro Karhu. The 14-year-old, originally from Finland, was able to secure 73 points, barely edging out Liquid Scented for his trip to the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City.
That's it from us. Thanks for hanging out, Bala and Zeke, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Zeke here recapping Week 2 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Duos Qualifiers. First up in Oceania, Cover H and MF Twiz were able to overtake the duo of Jam Zora and Jam Geese to be the first duo team to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup final in New York City. Despite playing from behind after the first 6 matches, Cover H and Twiz were able to roll off huge games at the end, earning them the top spot. Shattering expectations from Scallywag Cup, Luxe Cup, and the Fortnite World Cup Warmup, there was a new name on top of the Asia leaderboards when the competition ended. CR Bell and Scarlet #1 from Japan were able to secure the only qualifying spot out of this region. Their balanced approach of high eliminations, but also chasing high placements, let them edge out the rest of the competition. Their final match earned them 14 points, putting them in first place with a 3-point lead. Europe proved to be a battleground for its 4 qualifying spots. Requiring 58 points in the semifinal to even compete on Sunday, those top 4 places would be difficult to obtain. In the end, Energy's Benji Fishy and Mr. Savangem took the top spot, with familiar names like Secret Mongraal, Atlantis Metro, E11 Stompy and E11 Tachinkin just behind them in 2nd and 3rd place. Loot Boy Scram and Mexi took the final spot, pushing out Solary's Airwalks and Nikov in the very last match with a 20-point performance. Stompy and Benji Fishy also became the first 2 players in Fortnite history to qualify for both the solo and duos competition at the Fortnite World Cup final. Over in Brazil, code W7M Nix continued to prove he is one of the players to watch coming out of South America. After a 2nd place finish last week, he and his duo of W7M's PF Zin were able to secure the only duo qualifying spot. Their 36 combined points in their 5th and 6th games gave them an insurmountable lead and let them ride up the rest of the finals in 1st place. The NA East leaderboard was constantly changing over the course of the entire session. Familiar names were seen at the top for a long stretch, but in the end, the 3 spots were earned by some relatively new faces at the top of the leaderboard. OT Spades and Wolfgang Krims were able to take the #1 spot with 90 points, ending with an incredible 14 points in the final match. The Misfits duo of Clix and Skeptic were also able to put up a couple of huge matches at the end, securing them the 2nd spot at 87 points. Envy's Linane, who just missed qualifying for solos last week, and LG's Tyler 15 were also able to earn 87 points, putting them 1 point ahead of 4th place and booking their trip to the final. The last region of the day had 6 different teams vying for the single qualifying spot. Ultimately, Arkham 1X and Bloom Falconer were able to hold off a couple of last-minute surging teams. The duo had only played together for 3 days before the event, but were able to use their consistent performance to earn 99 points and be the 11th duo to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup final. Congratulations to those who have qualified, but don't forget there's still more Fortnite competition on the horizon.
Hey Fortnite fam, it's me Zeke. In case you missed it, let's recap Week 4 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. In Week 4, we were back to duos, and Oceania, Asia, and Brazil were all playing for prize money. The competition was fierce in Oceania, as players aimed for 1st place. 3 teams were battling it out for the top spot: Jam Zora and Geese, Jalen and Skyla, and the ghost duo of Zarby and Trapped. In the end, Jam Zora and Geese took 1st place with an insane score of 132 points. In Week 2, they were 2 points short of qualifying, and with their insane performance in Week 4, expect them to come back even stronger in Week 6. Over in Asia, Top Banny and Faxfox have been a dominant duo, but in Week 4, their teammates Top Hunt and Ming stole the show with their phenomenal 117-point score, 6 points clear of the next duo. T1's Quicks and Medusa were just behind them with 111 points, and just behind them were KGA's Sexy Boy and Backhoe. Asia has proven time and time again that the region is stacked, and we expect them to continue bringing the heat in coming weeks. While the action has been heating up in Asia, Brazil has been flying under the radar, with their top players having outstanding performances. 9Z Santided and 9Z Zeko dominated Week 4 with 115 points, the only duo to break a double-digit score. People are sleeping on the region, and these players are insane. And at the finals, don't be surprised to see them pop off in huge ways. Speaking of insane, let's talk about Europe, which had 4 qualifying spots up for grabs. EU played their hearts out as they went head-to-head vying for placement. E11 Stompy and Tachinkin qualified for finals back in Week 2, and in Week 4 they were back with a vengeance as they dominated the battlefield and snagged the #1 spot. Because they had already qualified, 4 spots still remain as Gambit's Flexi and Letwig punched their tickets with 87 points. Cooler Nyrox and Aqua took the next spot with 86 points. 3 teams battled it out for the remaining 2 spots. But due to tiebreakers, VHV Crew and Chapix and Geo's Daedra and Miz secured the last 2 spots, holding off New G Booth and Nido. Man, EU is so good! In NA East, there were 3 spots up for grabs, and massive names battled it out as the leaderboards were constantly shifting. Ninja and Reverse 2K had an incredible start with a victory royale and a 2nd place in Game 2. They even went head-to-head with Tfue and Cloak in several of their games. But after an unbelievable set of matches, the dynamic duo of NRG Zate and Ghost Saf stood at the top of the leaderboard with 99 points. Tempo's Brush and Sizzlucky claimed the 2nd spot with 91 points. The final spot was the most intense back and forth we've ever seen, but out of nowhere, Nate Hill and Face Funk exploded into 3rd place. With only 2 games left, they had to drop huge games if they hoped to qualify. In an unbelievable swing, Nate Hill and Funk Bomb focused up and pulled off the unthinkable, picking up 38 points in their last 2 games. They edged out 100 Thieves, Cease, and Elevate by 1 point, earning the last qualifying spot and punching their tickets to the finals. NA West was the last set on deck with 1 qualifying spot. First place was overtaken several times, but in the end, KNG Leno and KNG Barl secured first with 90 points. In Week 2, they placed 8th with 81 points, and after an interview on broadcast, Barl said he and Leno set their eyes on first place, taking time to practice with peers and do VOD reviews to improve their skills. Their hard work paid off big time, and they will face off against the best of the best in finals, ready to show the world what they've got. Week 4 was absolutely insane, and the competition was fierce, but there's still more to come. So stay tuned for the Fortnite World Cup Online Open.